I'm going to start off again by asking, I guess, the musical question, because I just don't get it. Who in the hell is Steve Bannon? Who's Charlie Kirk? Who are these people? And Laura Loomer, I like him, and Dinesh and a lot of people. Who are these people? Is President Trump supposed to get the clearance from Steve Bannon? Does Steve Bannon run the show? Did we vote? Does he speak on behalf of Maga? Who is who are these people? Charlie Kirk. I've got to get the okay from him. Who's Charlie Kirk? I know this may surprise you, and I know what I'm saying may be heretical, and I recognize this. I've never listened to any, I've never heard any like, wow. I don't understand. It's like the Jordan Peterson thing. Are we so bereft of anything, of leadership or original thought, that we confuse these people with what exactly? Who is Charlie Kirk? I pick anybody for that matter. I'm going to say this for the millionth time. I voted for President Trump. Do you know who probably did more to get President Trump elected? Not Smelly Jacket Steve, not Charlie Kirk, where he goes to colleges and tries to outsmart kids and then selectively picks those interviews of some poor kid who doesn't know what the hell he doesn't know Marxist from Groucho Marx. And then it's like, I've seen how this thing goes. This is my absolute positive last ditch effort. Elon Musk did more. Elon Musk, J.D. Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, these people have done more. Joe Rogan, but Elon Musk did more to basically say Trump is cool, not Steve Bannon, who looks like he woke up in the like in the park. Who is Steve Bannon? This is a guy who always has been White House advisor. He hasn't been near the White House in I don't know how long. Who is he? Self-appointed what? He's entitled to say what he wants, of course. I don't care. Who is he? Now, nobody is saying, let's let Indians replace Americans. Last time I checked. Anybody hear that? Did you hear that? The H-1Bs, or as Alex called it, HB1s. Is that it? All of a sudden, this is the focus? 23 days until the inauguration, and we're wasting our time with I don't care what Steve Bannon says. We've got problems. We have this self-appointed group of people who we're listening to. It's like Bill Maher or Ann Coulter or Ben Shapiro or Candace Owens. Good for them. Patrick Bet David. Good. Hey, it's great. Lex Friedman, I think he's more important. Joe Rogan, that's a different story. Who got President Trump elected? Steve Bannon? I don't think so. What does President Trump owe Steve Bannon? Nothing. But Steve Bannon says, I've got to do something. I don't know if on my way to the pokey or who's got, I don't know what his problem is. I have no. I couldn't tell you, did they resolve his problem? I hope he did. I don't even know what he's charged. I don't care. I don't know. I don't know. You know who was very good at this? You know who was very good? Roger Stone. Roger Stone is a gentleman. Roger Stone never gets in the way. He is 100% loyal. And let me also tell you something. Steve Bannon may need a pardon coming up. So I would just kind of cool it. Again, I don't know what I have no idea what he's charged. Or if that's even, I don't care. But I'm going to say this again. Because I think because I've known you have to say things repeatedly. I voted for President Trump and J.D. Vance, and I am eternally thankful for him. We are about maybe to make America what I would hope would be not only great again, but not even, I don't think we've been technologically superior because it's a new world. This isn't about the Apollo mission anymore. This isn't Houston control. This is about everything. This is from Silicon Valley. And there's a lot of folks out there, Peter Thiel and others. And I know everybody says, oh, you work for the CIA. Okay, fine. I don't know who's going to pass this litmus test. But I will tell you something. Number one, I do not want to replace American workers with Indians. I don't know where this is coming from. If there is somebody from the University of Washington, and the University of Washington, okay, let me ask you, is a master's student, PhD, in whatever, compared to a master's student, PhD, or the equivalent from wherever it is, I don't know, China, India, Asia, who knows? What do you want to do with that? I believe if all things are even, give 100% more consideration to the American. If you've got even Stevens, it's kind of like a good DEI, a kind of like a non-diversity. I don't want diverse. I'd like to have Americans. If we have that, if we have it, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But let's look at these numbers, okay? Let's look at the numbers here. Now, let me ask you a question. You own a company, and you own a whatever, I don't care what it is, a movie theater, a pop stand, you own a hot dog joint. And you've got two people who will work for you. One works for virtually nothing, and the other one twice the going rate. Which one are you going to hire? Who? You manufacture something. You make tennis shoes. You make ballpoint pens. You make whatever it is. Where would you like to have this manufactured? In Austin, Texas, with unions and with this and with all of the workers' comp and liability and insurance, which is fine. Or Mumbai or not Beijing, but Wuhan or something like that. Where would, tell me where you would go. Tell me, Steve Bannon, you're a genius. Where would you go? Where would you go? Tell me. Now, if that's possible, that's why I've been saying for the longest time, God bless Mike Lindell at My Pillow right here in this country. My Pillow, promo code Lionel, right here. God bless him. You like that? Good for him, because he can do it, and he's proud to do it, and he's happy. He's happy doing it. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. You got that? Good. Let me ask you something. What would you do? What would the genius, what would Steve Bannon do, the genius? Now, so far, we've got, JTE says, who is Lil Yum Yum, MK Ultra victim? We'll look into that. I don't know. Crypto says, missed this morning, who is to blame? Drones are for losers? By the way, Crypto, we got some new orbs over JFK, but don't worry about that because nobody cares. We just want to ask questions. Greeting, Uncle Lenny. Let's go MAGA or get out. That's terrific. You're right about that. Andrew Hessing says, are people really listening to Bannon, Kirk, etc.? I'm more or less waiting for the shite to come down. To damn quit from the other side, except drones. Interesting indeed. That's it. And Crypto says, chocolate trumples for everybody. Crypto, I don't know what you're smoking, my friend, but it must be damn tasty. That's all I'm saying. Now, we'll move this out of the way. I'm just going to, this is the most stupid thing in the world, but let me just tell you one thing. On a bigger notion, okay? Okay. Why give up the good and search for the perfect. I watched somebody who had a little cutesy YouTube little on Elon Musk. It's like, oh my God, they're quibbling about, well, he started with his parents' money. He started Tesla, SpaceX. I mean, what are we talking about? Well, it is so dickish. So, Mr. President, do me a favor. Do you see who's coming too? You know who's coming? Bill Gates. Kissing the arse of the Trumpster. Kissing the ring, but it's more like that. Can you believe that? Come on, grovel. Why do you think that is? Let me see. Charlie Kirk? No. Patrick Bet David? No. Who? Who do you think? Anybody? Elon. I can't believe I'm even saying this. Do you not get this? JTE says Bannon has been there since day one. He went to prison for Trump. By the way, Mr. Pillow is the biggest Bannon fan there is. He has never left Maga. Good. Well, that's terrific. He is not showing his colors now. So let me just tell you something. Do me a favor, okay? He went, I think it was for, what was it? It was a contempt. He claimed that he had some type of a claim. Whatever. Do me a favor. Let me see if I can make this. Again, what this has to do, it has nothing effing, I think relevant with what we're saying. What does that have to do with now? Let me try this again. I don't care if he went to Leavenworth, then went to Rahway, and then went to Supermax. I don't care if he lopped off an arm. We're talking now. And what we're doing is, this is about people in the world of platforming getting the name and the reputation and the cred and the numbers to get your name across so that the left and CNN can talk about, did you see all of the problems in Maga land? That's what this is. This is bullshit. It's a work. It's wrestling. It's the heel versus the face. It's an angle, bringing heat. It's to bring in the numbers. How are we doing? Great. Take up that. We're going to stand up. No. Same thing with Kevin McCarthy. What was that about? The same thing when they even brought in Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz, a pervert, a degenerate, who could very much end up cracking rocks upstate permanently, and yet he's doing all he can because he is so out of the running. It's not even funny. I've got to do something. Lauren Boebert was doing. Remember when Lauren Boebert? She says, "I think there should be. I want to carry a weapon on the floor of the Congress, and it will be open carry." What are you talking about? Oh, and this other nut, Mace. What's her name? Who walking around says, "Am I hot or what?" Huh? Making fun of all people. Come on. Trey Gowdy. Yes, I am. Are you? What is this? What is this? I mean, I don't know. I really, seriously. You know what this is about. It's about getting attention. It has nothing to do with helping MAGA. It's nothing to do with helping the cause. Nothing to do with republicanism. Nothing. It's about them. These are media hooas. These are people screaming and yelling and begging and grasping for any attention they have. Meanwhile, we've got what, 23 days until the inauguration, and I've got to hear Rumpelstiltskin with the jacket and the other one wasting my time with this, going out and sending out the message to the leftist media who is eating this up, saying, "Look, they're fighting amongst ourselves. Act like the defendants, like the Democrats do. They never turn on each other. Never say what you want." I kind of like that. Yeah, I did. Mr. L, I'm back. I'll get your Mr. L's new mug in February 22nd cutting room. I'm in Steve, who wants to be in the spotlight. You better believe it. It could influence Trump. What could influence Trump? It? What is it? I don't know what that means. President Trump, stay strong. Mr. Trump, let me tell you what's going to hear. You know what got you to this? You and a new brand. And a new brand. And the first thing you've got to do is get rid of these jadrules who are wasting my time. You're doing what they're doing, Lionel. You're doing what they're doing. What am I doing? Again, I don't know what this means. What? It could help. What? I don't agree with you all the time, and that's perfect. You make me think these other people just want fans clicks with their fans. Yeah, whatever. Listen, that kind of goes without saying. I understand it, but that's part and parcel. I understand. But the bottom line is simply this. I want to talk about something even more important. I want to talk about the direction of the country, what's going next, and the next 4 years, and the next 4 years after that. Where are we going? The first thing we have to do is get rid of this stupid Republican Party, because there is no Republican Party. They don't exist. I don't know who these people are. I don't know what they're talking about. Is it balanced budgets? Is it social? Is it what? What are we doing? You've got Bill Gates coming to kiss the ring. Do you understand that? He has the biggest name. He has the world. They are paying homage to Trump. Do I have to remind Charlie Kirk, that little punk, what this is about? Do I have to remind? Do you understand what's going on? What, seriously, do I have to remind you? Do you see this? Do I have? Why am I reminding people of this? What is going on? What do you think this is? It's a game. It's a power play. It's not always trying to keep the little children happy. Who was it? Bannon referred to Elon as a child or a toddler? Oh, for the love of God. You've got to be kidding me. Let me stop before I hyperventilate. You listen to this. Listen to this. New reports reveal that the average person has $8,674 in credit card debt. Plus, the total average consumer debt is a shocking $104,215 between mortgages, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans. Unfortunately, without outside assistance, many will continue digging themselves deeper and deeper into the hole of debt. I've advised and counseled friends and clients for years who want to take back control of individual debt about this secret weapon that has helped so many consolidate everything owed into one affordable monthly payment. They even helped negotiate a settlement agreement that will allow you to pay less than the total balance. Listen, they settled over $275 million in debt, and they've helped people become debt-free in an average of 28 months. I've had such an incredible experience referring clients and friends that I wanted to partner with them here and introduce their services to you, my loyal Lionel Nation family. If you want a helping hand to get out of debt, I absolutely, positively, and strenuously recommend booking a free consultation now by going to nodebtwithlionel.com. Look at the address. Once again, that's nodebtwithlionel.com. Use the link I've provided under the title. Listen to me. You can take control and learn how to get out of debt now. Fantastic new news, ladies and gentlemen. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has legally blocked the Biden administration from disposing any more materials meant for the border wall. This action follows a court hearing where it was agreed that no further sales would proceed, at least until President-elect Trump assumes office. The materials in question were initially auctioned off as mandated by Congress, but the move has stirred significant political controversy, particularly from Trump supporters who view it as undermining border security. Well, let me tell you something. God bless Tom Homan. God bless them doing it. Today, Trump says, in a major crucial win for America and our national security, a federal judge, based on papers we filed just a few days ago, has prohibited the Biden administration from selling any materials. I think that is splendid. That makes me happy more than anything. That's what I care about. That's why we elected him. What was that again? That's why we elected him. Who? President Trump. Who? President Trump. He's the president. Did you know that? Did you know that? He's the president. President Trump. He's the guy. You may not have known that. It's the truth. It's the damnedest thing you've ever seen. It's the truth. Absolutely. Sparky says, government authorized the fake ID and used it to set him up. This is interesting. Am I frozen here? Oh my God. Don't steal my steel, bro. Am I frozen? Oh, there we are. Okay. Let me try this again. Government authorized the fake ID and used it to set him up. Isn't a little ode to a pillory meets jury nullification in order for Gates, whatever, Georgia? Government authorized the fake ID. If you think, honest to God, and this is your right, if you think that he was sitting around and saying, this is the most ridiculous thing in the world, I don't even know who this person is. The drug buying, using my son, Nestor, he has a son. Well, it's kind of I adopted. Let me tell you something, Sparky. I love you, man. Stay away from him. It's moot. Be done. Go away. Gates, go away. We don't need you. You want to argue that? You want to argue, Gates? Go ahead. Don't count me out. Not interested. Whatever it is. I cannot believe that you think they pulled this poor guy out of nowhere, made this stuff up, and just like Andrew Tate. I can't believe this guy comes along, does a little positive stuff for men, and the next thing you know, they come up with these stories. Sparky, I know you know more than that. I know you're smarter than that. Could they exaggerate? Of course. Do I trust the government? No. Do you think they pulled this guy? Come on. You know who's really pissed off is his wife. All of a sudden, he gets married and he says, I'm out of here. You're what? I'm out of here. Whoa, wait. What do you mean you're out of here? I'm done. You're done? But I was going to be the congressman's wife. Well, you're the ex-congressman's wife. But wait a minute. But that's not the way it is. Trust me, we had to do that. Okay. I'm not interested. Knock yourself out. Do you at least understand my argument? Oh, yeah. But it's moot. It's moot. It's like framing a guilty person. It's like when years ago when people said, I think that they dropped, what the hell is his name? The LAPD cop, the one who dropped the glove, the OJ glove. They dropped him to what? To frame a guilty person? What? Yeah, they dropped the glove. They were going to frame him. They didn't have to frame him. What are you talking about? They didn't even. Anyway. Again, if I sit back and I'm the prosecutor, you go ahead and bring that up all you want. If you think they made this out of whole cloth, if you think it was just like, okay, you are entitled to your opinion, my friend. You are entitled. Let us not waste our time. How about this? On December the 28th, today, J.K. Rowling, it's Rowling, right? Ignited a social media debate with her statement suggesting that the concept of transgender children is not real and critiquing the support for medical interventions for minors. Her comment spurred a variety of reactions. Oh my God. I hope Steve Bannon okayed it. Any word on Charlie Kirk? Because they matter. If they give it the thumbs down, it's done. At least what I'm told. with some users supporting her view by discussing the potential harm of medical treatment. Look, the fact that anybody suggests this is a debate, this is the most bogus debate anybody's ever heard. You know it, I know it, we all know it. It's ridiculous. Absolutely, positively ridiculous. You understand that? What about this new one? The National Archives has released photographs showing then Vice President Joe Biden meeting with his son Hunter Biden's Chinese business associates during a 2013 trip to Beijing. These photos come to light amid allegations of influence peddling involving the Biden family, although meetings with foreign business figures are not uncommon. The release of these images has reignited discussions on the political ethics surrounding such interactions. Come on. It's over. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. How about this? Mega Millions jackpot, California's lucky streak, or something more. A ticket sold in California worth $1.22 billion, leading to the widespread discussion about the frequency of large lottery wins in the state. Some expressed skepticism regarding the odds, suggesting that the wins might not be purely random, while others pointed out that California's large population could explain the trend. Gee, do you think the winner will face substantial tax implications? I'll take it, with estimates suggesting the lump sum payout after taxes would be significantly reduced. You think? I'll take it. I'll take it. Congratulations to the IRS for winning $600 million in the Mega Millions. I'll take it. I'll make it. I'll take it. Now, the best one is this. How many of you, and this is a lighter subject, I don't think you have to check with Bannon to see if you can answer this one. I think you can. I think it's okay. I think you can answer this one on your own. I'm just saying. How many of you great folks buy or follow the lottery, as it were? Wait a minute. Sparky says, you missed my earlier super chat. Hang on a second. The whole Congress are a bunch of perverts who need to answer to the Coca-Cola company. Okay. All right. The whole Congress are a bunch of, preverts. Yep, there you go. Andrew says, I told Mrs. L tonight, I believe in the citizen militia. I know there are big problems, but the failure for kids from any government entitled or entities is sick. Oh, I agree with you 100%. I agree 100%. Gates hasn't been charged. Apparently, they have no case. No. One would think. Sparky, I hate to get all OC on you, but you know what happens when somebody who's guilty of stuff isn't charged, don't you? What do you think? Anybody want to venture a guess? When somebody's not charged, what do you think that's about normally? Is it because they don't have a case? Oh, earlier than that one, wait a minute, there's another one. The whole, do you understand my argument? Is this the one, it's not much letting Gates go off the hook, as it is not letting the government get away with it? Government authorizes fake ID. Is that it? Is that the one? Well, let me go back to you. I think that was it. But let me ask you a question. Do you know what it means when somebody's not charged? Let me ask you a question, Sparky. Do you think, what does it mean when, let's say, we're in a group and we know somebody and they're kind of investigated and they're not charged? What do you think that's about? Somebody mentioned the E clients, the dude on the island who weren't charged. What do you think that's about? Do you think they weren't charged because they didn't have a case or what? That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Sparky. I don't know if it was that's of what I just said or that's it before. Anyway, what do you think that is? Could be because he ratted people out. He turned over. He provides substantial assistance. He's a confidential informant. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to get him because he'll talk about somebody else. Maybe, I don't know. But if you think that in this country, the people who are, especially in Washington, name how many total Congress people, judges, even high-level administration officials are ever charged with crimes. Come on, man. You think it's because they don't have anything? You said, well, it must have, if they didn't charge him. Please. Now let's ask a question. How many of you folks, I love this, play the lottery? The one about not letting the government get away with it. Okay. Sparky, you ever play the lottery? Anybody play the lottery? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, look at this. I'm with Stephen Miller and Bannon over Elon and Vivek. Okay. Great. I'm with Trump. Who do you think you are? I'm with Stephen. What do you think this is? What kind of pusillanimous little playground thing you are? I'm with him. Oh, I don't know. I'm rooting for the Yankees. What about you? Well, I'm a Red Sox fan. You see what happened? This is what I told you. Politics is a fan club. There's nothing to do with the actual policy, nothing to do with political worldview, nothing to do with abecedarian fundamentals of politics or worldview. Nobody. We don't talk about Syria, the Middle East. I just think I'm with Stephen Miller. I'm with Stephen Miller and this and that. Really? You sure about that? You sure about that? Do you know everything? Oh, I don't know what they say, but I'm with them. Well, I like them. I like Steve Bannon. I like him. Oh my God. Now, you know, I don't want to go through this whole thing, but the whole story. See, this is the beautiful thing. Stay in politics long enough and hope to God you have a subject that's so simple, so easy, such low-hanging fruit where people just jump on it and they just think it's like, I like this guy, I like that guy. I like Tulsi Gabbard. I like Tulsi Gabbard. What did she say? I like Tulsi Gabbard. I like Carrie Lake. Remember that one? I like her. And then Mace, this creepy Mace. What do you like about her? I don't know. I like the way she looks. I like to see her, I guess. I don't know. But what does she stand for? I don't know. Well, what are we talking about? Oh, I don't know. No holds barred, Uncle Lenny. Damn right. I don't know. What are we talking about? What about Trump? Anybody like Trump? Anybody talk about Trump? Remember him? The guy who was running? Remember him? Make America Great Again? Remember him? Anybody? My biggest fear, honest to God, you ready for this? My biggest fear is for Elon to say, you know what? Pfft, the hell with this. You know what? You don't need me. Forget it. See ya. Vivek, you're on your own. I'm out of here. I don't need this shit. That would be the worst thing ever. Because let me tell you something. This group right now, you can have them. You could take the whole group from top to bottom. Marco Rubio, Stefanik, and I know you're going to hate it. Pete Hegseth. Okay. You like this? Is that big firepower for you? That's the guy you want? I like Pete Hegseth. He's on Fox News. I like Pete Hegseth. Okay, fine. You like him. Okay. I like Pete Hegseth. And Marco Rubio? Sparky says, the H-1B visa thing is a bigger deal than illegals working in a chicken plant. Don't be a show for the man. Oh, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Don't think that you're going to jump on something. Don't jump on some arcane subject that nobody gives a shit about and doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. This is just your idea and your chance to pull apart from the rest and say, yeah, I'm going to jump with them. Just like Marjorie Taylor Greene, all of a sudden loved to throw her ass in everybody's face and say, I'm against, McCarthy or whatever. Are you kidding me? This is chicken shit. Trump reinstitutes I'm an American Day, May 19th, 1940. Okay, there we go. This is ridiculous. And by the way, I was listening today to another story about Assad's wife. Did you see that one? Oh, and it was a first post. What's it called? Palki Sharma. I loved her when she was on WeOn, but now she's on this other one. And oh, it was great. All of the international, not one person in this country talked about it. She's great. She was born in the UK. Hama, whatever her name is, Assad. That disaster, and they're reading, and he's a butcher, and he's a drug dealer. They said drug dealer. Are you kidding? You know what they're doing to Syria? That's the Steve Bannon. That you talk about a shill, okay? You know what I mean, Sparky? You know what I mean? You know what I mean about that shill? You know who? You know who that? You know what I mean, huh? Oh, you know. Oh, I know. And I'm looking at all this stuff. I'm thinking, this is the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever seen in my life. We have people pouring over the borders. TDA, Tren de Aragua. Every kind of cartel, from Sinaloa to you name it. And somebody's worried. You think that this is going to be the end and the destruction. Somebody who says, what is your name? Here's your name. Okay, fine, let's work on it. I'm not saying work on it. But it's just like, I love jumping on. I love this. What is H1B? I don't know, but I just love it. I love being a part of the cool kids. I just love being a part of this. What does it mean? I don't know. Something or other. Do you know where this thing started from? Nobody's even talking anymore about Vivek and what he said about American culture because they know he's right. We're onto this stupid thing. But, the good news is it's Saturday. It's going to be gone. Nobody cares about this. Meanwhile, 5 orbs are floating over Kennedy as we speak. 5 orbs, not 5 drones, orbs. Look at this. 1 minute you're pro H1BV, then talk about train fires. What? I don't know what that means. Again, I don't know what half of this stuff means. I try to nod. I say thank you. I don't know what this means. I don't understand. When you write something out, I mean, do you sit there and say, okay, before I hit send, does this make any sense? What does this mean? I don't know. Send it. Okay. I don't know. I swear to God, I don't know. I don't know what this means. I don't care. H1B, are you kidding me? We're talking about this now? Oh, dear God. And the Democrats are laughing. Can you believe these masters? These stupid idiots are arguing. They haven't, the guy, he won by landslide. Won the popular vote, and they don't talk about this chicken shit, H1B, which can be fixed and changed and altered. Okay, whatever it is. These Republicans are the worst. You've got this one here. Democrats don't have that. Say what you want about those people. You may not like this. Everybody on from The View to Whoopi to Sunny Hostage or whatever the hell these people are. To oh God! In fact, even Rachel Maddow and others, they were pissed off. And by the way, you notice how Joe and Meager thought, well, they're going to kind of break away. Oh, they're done. They even turned on them. They are a solid unit. You don't veer from them. Nobody did this. Nobody, not one person said anything about Biden being Shingad. Not one Democrat. We would be. They are asking for a poll, H1B or trains. Oh, trans rights. Trains rights or trans rights? Is that what you're saying? Trans? Was that it? Trains? I thought you said trains. I feel, who's this? I feel Trump. I feel Elon will throw Trump under the bus. I hope I'm wrong. He is getting all the attention. All great for business. Okay. H-1B takes away good jobs. The system will change to produce more American-born engineers when demand for American-born engineers go up. No, when the demand for trained, good people, not engineers, they're not fungible. I don't want some engineer with an American degree based upon an American college that for the past, what, 8 or 10 years was DEI. Sorry, pal. Not interested. That's it. Lionel, the discussion among Maga influences Trump more than it would other politicians. And that's the sad part. I don't understand. Let me go back to what I said before. Democrats don't care about that. The Democrats say, you're the boss, President Biden. Whatever it is, you're the boss. Okay, it's going to be Kamala now. Okay, she's the boss. Okay. And tampon Tim, he's our guy. Yeah. And then they told Clooney, you're going to, okay, that's it. I love those people. I love that. That's loyalty. That's esprit de corps. That's what I want. Not this. They don't argue about anything. Nothing. Not one person said anything bad about Hunter. Nothing. The hookers, the drugs, the laptops, nothing. Miranda Devine was going crazy with her book, Oh, the Laptop from Hell. Nobody cared. They never veered 1 second. Nothing. Nothing. I admire that. Not us. No. No, we talk more shit than you can imagine. We got this one over here, and he's slinging it over here, and then this one's complaining over there about and the H-1B. And I want to know about that. What about Gates? Why did Gates sit down? You should show more loyalty. And exit. Oh my God. Remember those incompetent judges that Biden just sent up, and they stood behind them? They didn't budge for a moment. Not anybody. The only one who ever veered was Joe and Meager, and they were just attacked. Even Don Lemon didn't back down. Nobody did. Nobody did. And even then towards the end on CNN, because they were just desperate. Van Jones was maybe. I mean, even that was tepid. No, you're missing the point. I want 100% loyalty to that president. And I want all these two-bit panty waist commentators who do take your H-1B argument and shut up. We'll get to that later. He hasn't even been inaugurated yet, and you're pissing on the parade. You're pissing in the punch bowl. You're ruining everything with these stupid, god-awful, unimportant discussions just so that you can be a Class A pain in the ass. The turd in the punch bowl. Always screwing things up. Absolutely. Transactions, yes. Let me tell you something. This is the one thing I do not understand. I do not understand. We are going to ruin this, but by God, you're going to win on your H-1B. Yeah, buddy. You're going to win. Yeah. How about Charlie Kirk? Yeah. They're laughing their ass off. We haven't even had the inauguration yet. Instead of having the wherewithal and the bravery to say, not yet, not yet. Mr. President, we're with you. We'll talk about this later. Not in public. No, that's okay. That's all right. We're with you 100%. Maga, yay! Remember that? Remember the rallies? Remember the ear? Remember all that? Proud to be an American? Remember how great we were? Ha ha ha! Spinning plates. Spinning plates. They're not spinning plates. They're knocking plates out. They're throwing stuff out. Because, let me go back to what I said. Let me rephrase this. Republicans don't know what they're doing. They're not Republicans. They're a mob. Andrew Hessing says, we have true believers for the first time in decades. Could have fooled me, but maybe. There is no group. You ask people, are you a Republican? Well, I guess. What do you stand for? What Republican? Are you paleo-conservative, neo-conservative? Are you, would you call yourself a Barry Gold? Whatever? I don't know what that means. Where are you going? What do you feel about the Middle East? What about I don't know. Uncle Al, when are you announcing a call in line? I don't know. And then you get all these people that say, well, Vivek, he's a Trojan. Yeah, that's it. And I'm just going to come up with something. It's like the same people who say, well, that's a distraction. What? I don't know what to say. I've got to say something here. Why? Because I don't understand what's going on. I can't take the obvious. I got to take something from like Matt Gates. He's a part of his shell, and this and that. The deep state, he's a plant, and this and that. And I can't. That's exactly what's going on. Self-governing republic. We'll never get that one. Sparky says, we'd have your boy Pompeo as Secretary of State if there was no discussion among MAGA. It's not about MAGA. It's about Trump. You don't add anything to this. We don't add anything. He doesn't turn to you or us or me and ask us, what do you folks think? What do you think? Dear God, I hope not. No, but instead we've got even worse. We've got the worst. Oh my God, Marco Rubio? I can't. Now listen. You can argue. You think I'm going to scream and yell about Marco Rubio? No, that's his selection. It's not perfect. Do you think that he said no? Do you think that he says, okay, what do you think, guys? Anybody? Anybody? Sparky, what do you think? Pompeo? No? Okay. Sorry, Pompeo. Sorry. Why? Sparky said no. They're having a discussion. I take their vote and I ask, Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens or whoever the hell these people are, and I ask them, what do you think? I don't have any opinion. I ask them. I don't ask anybody. I ask MAGA. I ask the people who are on YouTube channels and platforms. I ask Alex Jones, Alex, what do you think? I ask Joe. He doesn't ask anybody anything. Except maybe Elon. Maybe Elon. I don't know. This is a joke. Well, this is good. No, it's not. Because we don't know shit about what's going on. You listen, I hate to say something to you, and I know you're not going to undo it. You and I don't know anything. We live in a home at an address in the city with the post office box. We go down to there's a McDonald's. We don't go to high level meetings. We don't have briefings. We are so filled with this hubristic nonsense about how much we know, and we know so much, and it's a false flag, and it's a Trojan horse, and we don't know anything. We know maybe more than other people. We don't know anything. No. I want to, I'm going to, Elon's a CCP shill. Oh my God. It's just it's like when I hear people talk about Putin. I'm thinking, do you know what you're saying? Wild is an evil man. How do you know that? I don't know. I just say that. Warren Ocasio says, Kay Granger vanished from Congress. Nobody said anything about it for 6 months. Who's in charge of the asylum? Great question. And she's a Republican, by the way. Johnny Mazda Spaz says, Germany is complaining election interference because Musk is supporting the conservative AfD party in the upcoming general elections. And AfD, we might be not having these problems. And what exactly is it? What is that? What does that have to do with it? What? Again, what? What is this? What? Does that mean anything? Is that a problem? What? I don't know. I just wanted to say it. Well, what should we do? I don't know. I'm just telling you that. Okay. I love who was it the other day? Somebody who said, I loved the fact that the president actually went on certain, channels to talk to people, only so that he could be met, as he could be seen. And by the way, don't give me this bullshit about Barron suggested that. Please. I'm sure Barron acceded to this, but he wasn't. You don't need Barron. Anyway, when the president was on with Theo Vaughn, okay, all right, okay. I think that was good because he showed people the new. It was very, very smart. do you think? Do you think Trump is going to listen to Patrick Bet David, or? And I don't know enough of these, so forgive me. I don't know who are they. I don't know who the people are. I know Bannon and Kirk. I don't know. Listen to them, but Bannon, Kirk, Candace Owens, or whatever. Do you think he listens to them? Do you think he's going to say, you know what? I was going to do this, but I was going to support. I was going to support Israel, but you know what? I was on the Judge Napolitano show, who I'm a big fan of. He's not listening to him. Believe me, he's not listening. Carla, the cooking CEO, says Democrats are reveling in our discordance. Yes. Also had a super chat about the orbs that you missed. Wait a minute. God damn it. You're very hard to get a hold of, Missy. That's all I'm going to say, dude. Just a minute. Let me go back. I'm sorry. And this is not meant as any kind of a ruse on my part, too. Hang on. Let me see. Regarding Warren Acosta, Johnny Mans, Crypto Dummy. Here we go. Carla says, why is someone talking about the orbs? What could they be? Okay. Let's look at this, and this is fascinating. And this is an excellent question, and thank you. Number one, this is a great subject. First, no one is talking about it intelligently. Do you hear what I'm saying? No one, they're kind of talking about it, but not really. Let's see what we know. Okay? First, nothing. Nothing. If I said, Mr. President, yes, do you think it's possible to find out what those things are? Oh, yeah. Let's assume he's in. Just assume he is, Carl. He's in office. Really? Yeah. Watch this. Pick up the phone. Give me the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Jerry! Yeah, President Trump here. Listen, can you do me a favor? Can you corral one of these things? Sure. What do you want? There's 5 orbs over New York, New Jersey, New York, JFK. Why don't you tell me what they are? Okay, I got it. Well, wait. And they send a net out. They spread something. They collect it. It falls. Or they get up and they say, it's a light. I don't know what it is. It's plasma field. It's not really. It's this weird kind of a quasi-energy matter. They can find it out, but they don't. Sparky says, Trump's famous for making decisions based on the last person he spoke with. Let the righteous be that person. With all due respect, I love you, Sparky. You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know anything about him. You know nothing about it. He's famous for the last person. I know it sounds good. Just like, remember, Biden said Kamala was the last one. No, you don't know anything. I don't know. You don't know. I know people who know him. That's all I know. But going back to what Carla said. So, Carla, number one, could we find out? Yes. So why don't we find out? Because we don't want to. That's it. Ta-da! Next question, right? Does that make sense to you? We could find out. Of course we could. Of course we could. Send up a helicopter. What? Go up there, give me a picture. I want a picture of that. Okay. Do a thing. It's over JFK. I want you to send one. Send one. Just zap it, shoot it, get it, collect it, whatever you want to do. Get it. Andrew says, I think Trump loves this insanity around him. Then one day comes, holy shit, this is for real. Could be. I think he likes a little bit of that. Could be. We don't know. See, Andrew, we don't know. He does some stuff, and he's done some things in the past, which I think are kind of stupid. But I support him. Oh, no. You missed my earlier super chat. Let me go back. Hang on a minute. Sparky, I'm sorry. Sparky, Mr. Trump's favorite person. Oh, Cat Turds Initiative charged Trump changed Trump's mind about Pompeo. Rubio's too dumb to be able to manipulate Trump. Sparky, I love you, man. Cat Turd did not do this. I love you. You're a great man and a beautiful person, and I appreciate you. Cat Turd did not change his mind. Let me say this again. Write this down. Everybody take out a pen, write this down. And I like Cat Turd. He and I have had some kind of offering, and I think he's terrific. He probably makes more sense than Steve Bannon. Cat Turd did not change President Trump's mind. Did not. Did not. He might have said, well, interesting. Might have agreed with it. No. Because Cat Turd is not going to change it. Well, do something that is contrary to what I particularly think is important. Well, Cat Turd, I'm going to... No. If Cat Turd said, Sparky, abandon Israel, tell Bibi Netanyahu to pound sand, if Cat Turd said that, no. You know better than that. No, that ain't going to happen. Okay? So going back to Carla. Number one, can we find out? Yes. Have we? No. So therefore, we don't want to find out. Next question, maybe two or three. Why don't we want to find out? This is where maybe we can ask Cat Turd or Steve Bannon. I don't know. We could do one of a couple of things. Maybe. Number one, somebody kind of likes it. And by the way, remember, one of the answers could be somebody could say, Mr. President, yes. Can we come by the White House now? Or Mar-a-Lago? Yeah. I want to say this in person to you. I don't want to talk on the phone. Or we have a scramble phone. Even that one. I don't want to talk to you about that. All right, what is it? Mr. President, yes. At ease. Have a seat. Mr. President, I want you to meet. This is Lieutenant Colonel Carla, the cooking CEO. She's in charge of this. Okay. We don't know what it is. No, I mean, this is like unworldly. It's plasma, maybe. It's its own, we don't know what it is. And then it'll go off and on. It doesn't vibrate or pulsate. It'll just go dark. It's almost as though it construes its own inertial bubble, its own existence. We don't know what it is. This isn't ours. This isn't ours. And we did the best we could. We talked to all people, even the Raytheon, even though people who have, you know, the old story. I don't know if it's true anymore, but they said that top secret clearance means nothing. The real secret clearances are the zebra, or the 5 letters, zebra, ultra, umbra, whatever, delta, whatever. The serious ones. These are the real serious top secret. They don't know. Now, by the way, Mr. President, you probably don't know this. We've seen this forever. We've seen these orbs since prehistoric times. We have scholars right now who believe that the Bible was talking about it. We believe that these orbs could, in fact, be almost like their own drones, that these were little separate little satellite kind of proxies that go out from a kind of a galactic mothership. And Mr. President, we may have some other things for you as well. Yes, this doesn't work the same way we think of it. It's not, they're kind of effing around with us. They don't care about us, Mr. President. We don't know what this is. And the reason why we're being quiet is because we don't know what to say. And the other problem is, Mr. President, there are other people in other countries and other places who, if they're listening to us, are kind of laughing at this because they know, too, because they've had this. And by the way, Mr. President, you're not going to believe this, but we've actually been on the phone talking to people, some of our, quote, enemies, and even they are saying, yes, we've seen this. Remember the Cometa reports? Remember, was it Iran and France? And remember, it goes back to Phoenix Lights. Remember when over LA in 1940, whatever, they shot these. But we've been dealing with this throughout history. And there's a lot of stuff, Mr. President, that you don't even know about. So we don't know. Sparky says, cat turd changed Don Jr.'s mind, then Jr. changed Senior's mind. Doesn't always work, but it can. Oh, Sparky. Okay, Sparky. If you think that, you're probably right. You're probably right. Cat turd changed Don Jr.'s mind. Don Jr. changed his mind about his first family, and then he changed his mind about that weird Kimberly, and then he's going to change his mind about the next one, who's the real gold digger, who's going to have the baby and is going to be married by whatever it is. So if you think, and with all due respect, I don't know Don Jr., but Don Jr., how do I say this, doesn't know shit about this. With all due respect, put your money on Eric. So the idea that Don Jr. read cat turd, it said, Dad, yes, Don. Now listen, I know you've got a lot of important people here. I know you got people who are worried about this stuff and they know a hell of a lot more about this. But cat turd, and I love cat turd. Let me just go on the record. I think he's great. But Sparky, please. You're just, I think you're wanting to wish this true. Carlos says, UAPs, ours are the products of techno hogs who've exploited reverse engineered technology, while the orbs seem to be theirs. Thanks so much for the response. Well, we don't know. Do we know about these drones? No, but someone high up gave a stand down order sometime. Why? I don't know about a stand down order, or maybe not know. Carlo, there was a guy years ago named Philip Corso. Read this book the day after Roswell. Now, he was kind of full of shit, but he was supposedly there. And there was a time when the government was different and people were different and things were different. And there was a different kind of, it was a different way of thinking about it then. And let me tell you what he said, which I think is fantastic. And I don't know how much of this is true, but I like the thought of this. And let me explain a couple of things. First and foremost, number one, before we do this, forget the idea of, and whenever you talk about, and we have to go to the issue of, is there life out there? I believe so. As far as I know, I don't know if we necessarily know for sure. Did you know the story? There was a story about, of course, you know, Eisenhower was a Greer said signed a contract, signed an agreement with an extraterrestrial. All right. Did he have it notarized? Did he do that? Sparky says that was how it was on X. Did you miss the story? It was kind of big. Yeah. Okay. If you believe it, like I said, if that's the story, okay. I don't buy that. Makes no sense to me, but it's a great story. Just like Barron's telling me. Oh, for the love of God. No, Barron said, you know, Dad, this guy Joe Rogan is, you know how Trump talks. You know how he talks. He talks a lot of stuff about, you know, anyway. So, first of all, the idea of, you're going to hear this, they're too far away. Who? The aliens. They're too far away. They're too far. If they travel at the speed of light, they'll never get here. Andrew says, Greer is showing up everywhere. What a scammer. Oh, good for him. He's Steve Bannon. Smoking cherry in my bourbon. All right, there you go. Smoking cherry. I went to school with her cousin. Greer is the Steve Bannon, is the Charlie Kirk, is the Candace Owens. He's loving this. Loving this. It's a free country. God bless America. Okay. Now, a couple of things here. Stanton Friedman is a good guy. I liked him. I interviewed him one time. You know, there was a place years ago called, interestingly enough, it still is, Zeta Reticuli. Zeta Reticuli is the only, it's a binary star system about like 20 to 30 light years away. Die Glock, the Bell, yeah, created it. Okay, thank you. That's an important thing that we're talking about right now. Thank you. There's this idea of how far things are. You know what I'm saying? And it's like 30 years, 30 or so light years away. It's a binary star system. Betty and Barney Hill even drew it when they were abducted, if you believe that. John Mack said it. There's a lot of background information, which is very interesting. So there are things that kind of maybe sort of can, but the idea of a life form being out there, docked outside of, let's say, outside of Earth, and the mothership says, go down, and can you do me a favor? Can you hover around JFK? You got it. You know, it's coming in and out. I don't know. Rule number one, and this is important. Please don't try to anticipate what they are thinking. Don't tell me what they think. Don't tell me how they think. Don't tell me, well, why would they want to come here? Why would they want to talk to us? Why would they be interested? Or as Crypto says, you think we got our own, the Gloke. Okay. Well, we'll see. Now, a couple of things. First of all, this is important. One of the interesting things, which I think is fantastic, is this idea of the, and I know they have their Nazi bells and all that, which is fine. But I don't want to, like Stephen Greer, I don't want to just make stuff up. I don't know this. But all I know is when Philip Corso did this thing, he said some things which are interesting. I'll never forget this. One was they reversed engineered a bunch of stuff right around 1947, right around Roswell. Roswell was real. There really was a crash. Jesse Marcel and others and the people around it. Far too much information. Now, what was crashed? What was retrieved? Why? Was it because of all of the radio interference? Were they, like Greer says, trying to let us know? I don't know. I don't want to make things up. But listen to this and think about this. One was when they looked at and did an autopsy, I guess, or a necropsy or some kind of post-mortem of these critters, the one that we talked about, the one with the usual ones with the eyes and everything. They found, and this is kind of sort of interesting, they found, interestingly enough, that the eyes were the perfect, dare I say, they were the perfect analog, perhaps, to this wonderful thing called night vision lenses. And I thought about that. No, I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I thought that's kind of sort of cool in a way. And then it's sort of cool. It sounds neat. It's like, wow, night vision. Yeah, okay. That's number one. They also said that they learned through reverse engineering these wonderful things called fiber optics. That was one thing, which is very neat. I kind of like that. And they also said, he says, do you think we got our own? Yes, sorry, didn't know that. And they also found something which is very interesting, which I really particularly like. And I find this to be really interesting. There was a story, Corso didn't say it, but it's always intrigued me. It's about a nurse who walked in, theoretically. Okay, here we go. Sparky says, now hang on a minute, let me see if I can get this. Sparky says, Charlie Kirk always about BS distractions. Bannon's okay sometimes. Okay. They're all good. They're all interesting from time to time. I like that. Crypto says, again, I don't, these people are not prophets. They're just analysts. Remember, I found a couple of weeks ago the Manhattan Project used massive amounts of fluoride and the peach farmers wanted to sue. It's on record. We need a new centralized intelligence agency of the people, like the public library. Well, good luck with that one. Good luck. Andrew says, Marcel Lazar, some others, 100% reality peeps, have no idea what that means. Jesse Marcel, Bob Lazar, maybe, I guess. I guess that's what you're saying. What about Robert Wood? What about Robert Wood? Okay, let me go back to what we're saying. The story I particularly liked was this woman. She was a nurse. And the idea was that this one, because remember, there are different forms of life forms. Some were very tall. Some they say were kind of Swedish or Nordic looking. I don't know. But the one that we're talking about, the usual forms with the big eyes and the almond head, spindly limb, these were far more refined theoretically. They never spoke. I thought this is interesting. They never spoke. They didn't ever speak, because speaking was deemed a waste of time and inefficient. They spoke through telepathy, which I love the idea. Think about this. If you were creating the perfect life form, you wouldn't have them speak, where you have to be putting together words with an accent and verbs, and what are you talking about? The purest form of thought, the most important form of thought, would be just thinking through telepathy. However that converts, I have no idea. How you turn it off, I don't know. But it's almost like the ultimate in digital. That's number one. So the story is this woman, this nurse, theoretically walked into this room where this one particular critter, as they called him, was being looked at or bandaged or what have you. And when she walked in, she said, what was the most interesting was she immediately felt like this thing was talking to her. And again, it could be nothing. I'm not swearing by this. I'm not, but it opened my mind, like, oh, that's kind of interesting. She said she never in her life had someone talk to her, and she talked back. She just thought. She didn't know what she was doing. She said they were shorter and skinnier than most because they didn't have digestive systems. They used photosynthesis as a form of energy. Consequently, they were shorter, more compact. They didn't need arms and muscle for much of anything. And that in the particular, I love this, in the one particular model that they flew in. Again, this is, I'm not telling you this is what happened. I'm telling you what people brought up. In one of the particular models, I think Lazar called it the sports model or something along those lines. There was a, how did we say it? They sat in it's almost like injection molded. You sat in it. It had some kind of a suit or something on that they would wear, and some type of a thing on its head, like a headband or something, which was more of a guidance system. But the idea was that because of either the suit or whatever it was almost as though the being was part of an entire unit, a circuit. It was one unit where it controlled it by its hands and its thought. That's where it went. And this is the best part. It created its own inertial field, its own inertial bubble, so they could take turns that wouldn't kill them and splat them, if indeed they were actually flying. That most of the time, there weren't people or things in there, but they were, I don't know, drones, or it was a remote controlled or something. They didn't necessarily want to be here. Shadow Steve, thank you. So, what do I do with this? I don't know. But I like thinking differently. I also think about, well, how do you travel that far? How do you go that far? the faster you travel, the more you approach the speed of light. Forget going there, because the amount, theoretically, as we say, the amount of you know, energy we would need to approach that. And by the way, as it would approach the speed of light, the mass would be just, you know. But Stanton Friedman talking about something, he said when he first was in graduate school, he went to the University of Chicago. That was a master's. He was in Carl Sagan's class. He worked where they were using nuclear reactors and nuclear bombs, whatever, in space. That was the fuel, not solid fuel, not liquid, but nuclear, to be able to propel this. And you don't care about any kind of fallout or don't stand behind it, but the idea of propulsion is a different story. So there's all this wonderful stuff. I just want to think about it. But then again, others will come in, and then you got to ask yourself, well, first of all, these orbs, what is either the propulsion or the flotation? How does it work? We got to get close. Remember, Phoenix Lights, 5 Symington, this object, very dark, about the size of a football field, just floated over these mountains in Phoenix. The governor of Arizona was there. He said it made no noise. How does that work? They also say that when you are closer to the ground, they tend to wobble because of almost the interference. Carla says multidimensional worlds supposedly could have advances in traveling the distance. Here's one for you. Let's assume, Carla, you were at a long table. I think I've told you this before. Remember that picture that Putin was at? It was this long table. Let's say we're there and having dinner. And you're at one end, and I'm on the other. And there's a tablecloth. And at the end of the table is a salt and pepper shaker. And I want that. Now, I could get up, walk to the end, pick it up, bring it back. Or I could scrunch up the tablecloth and bring it this way by contracting the surface area, contracting it, pulling it in, contracting space. That was a theory. There's wormholes and things. I'm not a physicist. I'm not even remotely telling you I'm conversant with what, but I at least have a kind of a vague understanding. Oh, that's kind of interesting. And the idea of multi-dimensional, which I find fascinating in terms of not so much just, yeah, maybe it might be something as easy as a dimension. Bigfoot shows pure BS. However, if you think they don't exist, see one and see it move. Dermal ridge DNA hair and on and on. You can get a conviction of murder on less evidence. Still, people say you're right. I have never studied, thank you for that, by the way. I have never studied. I have never reviewed. I have no idea the collective information regarding Bigfoot. I have no idea. None. I don't know what's out there. I don't know any of it. I don't know what they're claiming. I don't know what, I do not know. I do not know what precisely they're saying, or I don't know. But I will tell you something. When enough people say something for a long enough period of time, you got to ask yourself the question, is there really nothing to there? Do you really think that when somebody says one thing regarding Yeti or Bigfoot or Sasquatch or whatever, cryptozoology or whatever the particular phrase is, but do you think there's nothing to it? Do you think that? Is your first instinct to say, bullshit? Or is it to say, well, I want to know why we haven't found it, seen it? I don't know. I've never, ever, ever, ever heard the first story about it. I don't even know what they're claiming. I'll tell you something where there's really worth if you really want to watch, crop circles. Crop circles are fascinating. What do you think? How many of you fine folks think that crop circles is just a bunch of people out there drunk in the middle of the night with a plank and some wood, right? Right? Don't you think that? Don't you think that crop circles are a bunch of drunk people late at night, and they go in this one place around, where they have the wheat or whatever it was, and they go out with Jerry, and they say, okay, let's go out, and here's our design. Okay, put the plank down, go around the circle. Okay, good. Now go out at the 100, and then turn right, do another circle, and you're flat, so you can't, this is before drones, so you're flat. You ever think that? You ever see them? You ever see the symmetry, the perfection, the perfect circles? There's no way. If you and I are sitting there, I can't look out and say, what's flat? Is this proportion? Is this, I don't know. We didn't have drones then. It's impossible for people to have done this, especially overnight, this intricate. And there are other things, if you believe this, I don't know about this one in particular, but it was purportedly in the shape of, or in the coded design of pi. They wanted to communicate with us theoretically. Again, I'm just telling you what they're saying. Numerologically, so they took pi because they figured we would know that. Now, here is the way I think. Do I believe in it? No. That means, do I have proof of it? Doesn't mean it's not there. To me, do I believe it? It's like, oh, I believe in rain. Tonight in New York, it rained. And tomorrow it rained all day. Do I believe in rain? Absolutely. And if I go to bed at night, I wake up the next morning and the streets are wet, I know it rained. Even though I didn't see it. That's called circumstantial evidence. Okay. So, is this possible? Absolutely. Do I believe in it? No. Because I don't have any proof. I'll come up with a working model. I'll say, I think it's leading towards that. Now, just because I haven't seen anything doesn't mean it's not there. I've never seen an electron either. Doesn't mean that there are no electrons. Obviously, goes without saying. Same thing about religion. Do I believe in a God? No. No. Am I saying there's no God? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. None. Of course not. Why? There's no evidence of it. If you had proof, you wouldn't need faith. I don't understand how this thing works. When it comes to religion, you don't need any proof. Sasquatch, you can have 10,000 people saying, we saw it. You were all drunk and you're rednecks. I don't know. So understand something. Open mind is one thing. Closed mind is another. Belief is one thing. Hope is another. Faith is one thing. Hope is another. Wish is another. Sometimes when people find themselves in the beginning throes of relationships, they will think there's something romantic happening when there is not. That's not proof. That's a wish. That's a hope. It's a desire. And sometimes it can traverse into belief. Yes, I know we're in love. I know he or she loves me. No, because you want it to be true. It's a different story altogether. Be very careful. Be very parsimonious. Be very specific with what you believe in. Do not just jump into something because it would really be cool. And don't ever be one of these people who says, I'm just kind of a spiritual person. And I remember somebody I said, please explain tarot cards to me. I really want to learn. They couldn't explain it. And they were doing it. They were a tarot reader. I said, but explain to me one thing. What is it that the cards do? I said, but you're a reader. You're charging people. You can't even explain it. I don't understand. I don't even understand astrology. I know people believe in it. I know people believe in it. I don't understand how it works. I don't understand. I don't. Here we are. I'm born here. You're born here. Okay, so on the same date, and there's an alignment, Uranus or his anus, whatever. Okay, fine. What does that have to do with anything? Okay, fine. This is the moon, and okay, fine. I do your chart. This is where everything was. What does it mean? Well, you see, that's your That's your success. No, 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 no. Why does a position of Mars have anything to do with my success or lack thereof or love or health? What effect does it have? Just tell me. They can't answer the question. But they believe in it. They can't answer the question. All right, my friends, an hour and 25 minutes. I think that is enough. My wife has said, "You've abandoned me." Hardly. By the way, wonderful documentary we saw. I don't know when it came out. It was about blood, sweat, and tears in Eastern Europe. Did you see this one? In Europe, this was the documentary. It was blood, sweat. Well, that's not it. Hang on. I'm getting BST. Blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears. Okay, here it is. It's called What Happened? Yes, when Blood, Sweat, and Tears went behind. It's called What the Hell Happened to Blood, Sweat, and Tears? A 2023 documentary about the 1970 tour of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I cannot tell you enough to watch that. It is one of the most interesting, and so much of it applies today, the way they were blacklisted by the left, because they went and they were saying, okay, well, we're going to go. And, you know, they were just kind of hippie types, and they played, I think Chicago was more important, but even when Al Cooper came along, they were very, very good. Anyway, they went to Romania and Poland, and Romania was like really bad under Ceausescu. But where was it? It was, I forget where it was. It was Yugoslavia. Anyway, I think it was Ceausescu. They couldn't believe it. They were followed, and they had actual secret, agent types and surveillance with newspapers with the hole in it. I mean, everything. David Clayton Thomas, they went to their hotel rooms. They looked at it was horrible. They went to Poland. They said Poland was the most beautiful thing in Warsaw, beautiful theaters. They loved the people. They were more sophisticated, so that when they came back, this was 1970 during the Vietnam War, David Clayton Thomas and Bobby Colomby and others said, let me tell you something. We're, and David Clayton Thomas was from Canada. He says, we're certainly very, very critical of the war in the United States, but let me tell you something. You don't even know what freedom is in this country unless you've been to Romania. Well, Rolling Stone and the Underground said, you're a bunch of shills for the CIA, and they said, no, we're telling you the truth. We went there, and we weren't sure if we were going to get out, and they seized our film, and we had to fool them, and it ruined their career. It ruined them because of the left, kind of like being shelved by the trolls on the We Live Here, or Deal With Here. They just got this wild idea that they were sellouts. They were doing this just State Department shills, and Abby Hoffman, they go blood, sweat, and bullshit, and it was in front of Madison Square Garden. They were handing out leaflets, and David Clayton Thomas said, I can't believe this. I just want to play music. I told you the truth. One of them was against the war in Vietnam. He says, but this is what happened. America's pretty great to live here. We're not perfect, but that wasn't good enough for these people. It's fascinating. It's called What the Hell Happened to Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It's a documentary. I think it's on Hulu or something. In any event, thank you to everybody who super chatted. Thank you. There's too many to go through. There's too much time, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you immensely. Just so interesting tonight. So interesting. I went off with a kind of but I want you to listen to one more thing. I voted. Andrew Hessing, by the way, says, Andrew says, correct. You've never seen Sasquatch. I've never seen children disappear, but no, it's really reality. Is better than the truth that should move you. Absolutely. Like I said, the fact that everybody is saying something about it, I think means something. And Crypto says, prior to the theory of relativity, Tesla said, we don't know where the electron comes from. That is true. And we still don't know. And now we don't even know if it even exists or if it's kind of it's like an energy field anyway. But what I said was, and I started off, President Trump is the guy I voted for. I have faith in him. I'm not exactly thrilled with everything he's doing, but I wish we would stop airing our dirty laundry in public. I don't want to mandate that people shut up, but I don't want to give the left any more ammunition, and they're loving it because we're arguing about H-1B visas because it's kind of who we are. We just love to argue. Left doesn't argue about anything. And there's something to be said for that. All right, dear friends, you have a great and a glorious night. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. We'll see you tomorrow at usual time. And until then, my friends, remember the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Da, da.